Good afternoon. My name is Vinu Thomas, Vice President of Solutions here at Presidio, one of EMC's platinum partners and a loyal EMC partner for the last decade or so. I'm here in beautiful New York City, great view of the Freedom Tower, and here at Presidio's headquarters at One Penn Plaza in New York City. We are here today to talk a little bit about Presidio's relationship with EMC, but more importantly, to get Gen 4 certified, which is EMC's brand new and fastest growing product, which is the Extreme IO. Wikibon recently had an article that came out first in December of 2014 and was subsequently updated sometime in middle of April of this year that specifically talks about the flash market and sort of the evolution of the flash market. Talks about Gen 1 all the way to Gen 4 and talks about what kind of a competitive advantage EMC has when it comes to the flash market. So when you look at the evolution of the flash market, we start off with the Gen 1 flash market, right? The Gen 1 flash market pretty much was invented by EMC when they started putting what we call as the enterprise flash drives or EFDs within a VNX and a VMAX array. And the idea behind this was to basically leverage the speed, the agility, and the fast-moving functionality of the flash drives, at the same time being able to use some of the legacy magnetic spinning disks for higher capacity storage. And when you looked at Gen 1 and when you combined some of EMC's technology like FastVP, you were able to essentially leverage both the EFDs as well as leveraging the spinning disk. So the idea was to keep all the fast, hot applications like database, use the EFDs or the flash drives, and then use the cold data for storing some of the larger files and some of the larger systems. And that was Gen 1. And what happened when EMC released that and started putting the flash drives, you had a lot of these newcomers, the upstarts came up with solutions trying to leverage pure flash technology. And that led to the birth of what I call as the flash optimized hybrids. So this was Gen 2, somewhere in the 2010 timeframe, when you had companies like Nimble, Tegile, and Tintri that essentially came up with hybrid systems, a combination of flash drives as well as SAS and NL SAS drives, and essentially coming up with a solution that was really not that different from what EMC already did in Gen 1, but basically they came up with this whole concept of this hybrid technology, the hybrid optimized storage, and essentially were able to create a little bit of a buzz in the market space in terms of this Gen 2. But really did not do anything in terms of performance, did not do anything in terms of data services, they lacked a lot of features, and usually we call this the generation of insignificance. And when you look at Gen 3 in the 2012-2013 timeframe, this is when you essentially started seeing all flash arrays. This is when you saw companies like Texas Memory, now part of IBM, as well as Violin, come out with all flash arrays. And the challenge there was most of these companies essentially did not have any kind of data services. Now, what happened was you had companies like Pure and Nimbus who came up with concepts of all flash storage where they essentially came up with data services but at the cost of performance. So when you looked at this generation, you had two types of solutions. You had the guys like Violin who really did not have data services, or you had guys like Pure Storage that really did not have the performance characteristics. So you essentially had clients who had to compromise either with lack of data services or performance considerations. So we like to call this the generation of compromise. And when you look at Gen 4, that's happened in 2013, late 2013, when EMC acquired this company called Extreme IO, and they came up with this absolutely phenomenal concept in flash, which is the Extreme IO. It's a complete scale-out architecture, inline, it's got up to 16 controllers, it's got the lowest TCO and the highest performance in the market. And when you read through the Wikibon article, which was really sort of an agnostic view of where the flash market is, they tell you how important and how exciting it is with Extreme IO's lowest cost, lowest TCO, and highest performance product with regards to the Extreme IO. When I look back here and when I try and explain this to some of my clients, I like to use the analogy of either the MacBook or the iPod. And when you look at the MacBook, and you go back several years back in the 2008 timeframe, you used to have great products with the MacBook, but they all came with heavy disks, a lot of storage, but not really that great of a performance, really did not support some of the latest and greatest that we have today in terms of some of the advanced technologies like wireless or Bluetooth or having a retina display, but they were bulky products, which sort of represents the Gen 1 generation. And then as you saw the MacBook evolve, it's very similar to what happened in the flash market. And then in the middle, you saw some of the flash drives appear on MacBook, but they really were not ready to support some of the advanced features like the Retina display or the Bluetooth or things like that. And when you fast forward to the latest MacBook release, which is very synonymous with what's happening on the Extreme IO side, you see a tremendous improvement in terms of quality of the MacBook, the thinness, how thin and how sleek it looks, the performance, the speed, and not to mention the fact that it's able to support some of the highest features and has great performance and low TCO. Very similar to what you see here with the Gen 4 flash arrays with Extreme IO. Now when you look at a company like Presidio, what we've done is we've betted heavily in terms of our flash technology as well as our ability to go to market with flash with Extreme IO. And what we've done is we've layered on top of it, solutions like our capacity on demand. And what our capacity on demand does for our clients is it allows us to be elastic and scalable at the same time. And in addition, we essentially offer our clients the ability to do a pay-as-you-grow model. So when you combine the Gen 4 architecture and the Gen 4 technology with companies like Extreme IO with our essential capacity on demand, financial as well as smart engineering, you're able to essentially get a great solution that's obviously scale-out architecture. It's got the ability to have the maximum number of controllers in line, the lowest TCO, highest performance. Our capacity on demand allows our clients to essentially procure this technology and essentially consume it and then pay as they essentially grow, right? And it's just a phenomenal solution that we've implemented for a number of our clients. I want to thank you for your time. And again, this is Vinu Thomas, and I'm hoping to get Gen 4 certified. Thank you.